is one all the time. And all the time, one is one. One is it? To tackle corruption, Africa requires holistic a systematic approach. The African government should investigate, prosecute, and sanction all reported cases of corruption with no exclusion.
Natumai sisi wote tutaweza kumobilize watu waweze kununua kitabu hicho. Nashukuru kwa nafasi hii. Naongea nazungumza kwa lugha ya Kiswahili kwa sababu
kwa nafasi hii kuwasikia ametujalia na nafasi ya leo ni mapenzi yake na kuendelea. Nashukuru sana na naomba kuelezea baraka katika maisha yetu na katika my youth whereby I perform tradition sacred. This is African tradition sacred and also African tradition social life. Tunaporudi kwa kweli tukute baraka za Mwenyezi Mungu zikienea katika makazi yenu, katika penye manyumba yenu, kazi yenu, katika penye manyumba yenu, na kwa kila kazi nafanya Mungu apate kuwabariki ili uweze kuendelea kusaidiana. Asanteni sana.
Leo Albert unajua si hapo leo hospitali hapa leo ndio uko na mgeni. Ndio mgeni najua amesoma kwa wewe. Na leo mmeketi na yeye. So hata kipato na pausikizi kidogo kiasi kidogo kidogo.
Wageni wetu wa heshima, marafiki zangu wote, wageni wengine waalikwa, wazazi, watu wa nyumbani wote, habari zenu. Before I start, let me say that we have something, both of us, we have something in common, that you don't know what I'm going to say. The other agenda is to address socio-political issues in post-colonial African societies. This is about nature, people experiences, to make sure that they press on societal topics like religion, politics, gender equality, race, economic issues across Africa. Our chief guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Scavenger of the family and other stories. It is an anthology of 6 short stories which are in the form of mirror of African states, cultures, and contemporary issues across the continent of Africa. The first story is the Scavenger of the family, which forms the backbone of the book, taking part of the title. This is the longest story among others, with approximate of 10,000 words. It is a story of a country where peace is very wanted. The family of Jabari, who is protagonist and previously a bank manager, suffers due to his naughty behaviors. Is in the road where Jabari is arrested for office mismanagement as a bank manager in Nguvu City. The later changes after he is arrested, he later changes and constitutes. Reading this story, you will be exposed to as many behaviors those happens across Africa and the world, like greed for power, internal fights, which happens in our societies. The story number 2 is the penalty of an assassin. This story is a story of 2 African kingdoms in Africa. That is Bura Kingdom and Rwanda Kingdom, where one king is greedy for power and material gains. He is always contemplated on grabbing other kingdoms land under his rule. It is a story of involving involving village elders, seers, and the Angles reside on the middle of the two kingdoms called the Comango Kingdom, which is only assessed by magic elders who perform sacrifices when calamity struck their kingdoms. The story number 3 is the story of World of No Peace, a story of struggling boy by the name of Epidemic. There's a character based on Western Africa with a sister after his death of their parents. The main question to ask yourself in this story is that will they succeed? They are grown up in a country of corrupt natives who during their interviews, the bribes paid are considered as direct entry into jobs other than the grades in their certificates. The story number 4 is the story of a slayer of Africans that I don't fear to address issues that affect Africans, because I have that belief in written word to shape and eradicate behaviors. I'm happy that I'm in sovereign country, well constituted and free country with rule of law, where the rule of law and freedom of expression are a first priority to its citizens. Not like in Kuku country, as illustrated in the story of the Scavenger of the family, where the ruling president rules that Jabari to be killed after his attempt to deliver the country from infamy. Ladies and gentlemen, a great number of Africans have been jailed for long term, and others their works banned by the regimes of that time, where few were killed, others only voluntary exile. Among these are Dennis Brutis, Festus Judge Mapache, Fuge Wabiongo, and many more. Those hideous acts were performed by great titans who were repressive for the art, life of imagination. But I appreciate the sum of African leaders like Kennedy Kaunda of Zambia, and late Mugabe, who were battled to protect the artistic work across Africa. I do thank the government of Kenya for allowing artistic works, because it allows all talented citizens to express their views on nature, experiences, feelings, and about their beautiful country, continent, and their surroundings. My dear friends, the word discovered of the family in the book is the enemy of the family, and this enemy is not the family that we are used to call, but a family. You know, when writing, I do take Africa as a community, and that it forms a family as Africans. And for that, the word scavenger is just addressed as the enemy of this family, Africa, but unhappy with the direct consequences of colonial expansion that ranged from genocide that wiped out a large segment of population to subdue the destruction of African cultures. I feel very happy with many governments of Africa, especially in Kenya, for support of our cultures, and also appreciate media forms like radios and televisions, which played a very significant role in the struggle against colonialism and expansion. In fact, since time immemorial, the media we interrupted for a short while, but we will just continue. I was continuing where I was saying that, in fact, since time immemorial, media have helped to rescue, incorporate, preserve, mediate elements which serve interests of people. The interests of people's aspirations, factors those define their beliefs and historical cultural development in general. Despite the fact that this function of media is coupled with political and ideological dimension in order to create consensus in favor of national ideology. They have promoted adult literacy, increased agricultural productivity, not forgetting that they have also become the purveyors of education and development. My fellow Africans, in this book, corruption and disunity is encountered in many parts. You have truly done whatever that you planned for the last 20 years. Whatever say, whatever you are doing is not right. Remember all the help that my kingdom has granted to your kingdom. Do not call a forest that shelters you a jungle. Please you, but from the world of no peace on corruption. How was the interview? Did you get a job? Amara asked. No, my sister. Jobs are always reserved for few. The few who have money to give to company bosses. Our home situation cannot make me a worthy competitor of them. Abidemi explained. My sister, men and women in those big offices, they have no idea of simple humanity. That's why our family will always be locked in mansion of gloom and a place of no escape. My dear friends, my dear Africans, the research shows that more than half citizens of most African states, they think that Africa corruption is getting worse in their countries. Think that citizens think that police is the most corrupt institution. 47% believing most of police are corrupt. In the story of the scavenger of the family, there is a police who plays this immoral role by receiving bribes to free criminals from jail. We shall be much surprised to hear that bribes hate the most poorest under than wealthiest, denying people access to critical health care, education, and jobs. For me, despite all this, I believe that change is possible. To tackle corruption, Africa requires holistic and systematic approach. The African government should investigate, prosecute, and sanction all reported cases on corruption with no institution, collect citizens' complaints, and also strengthen the whistleblower protection and paramountly to also enable media and civic society to help government accountable. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in less than 200 years ago, Africans lived peacefully before we were dictated, bewildered, and perfectly modulated by Western cultures. Africans are living in attractive scenes by spending with desperate, tribal, and corrupt African whose motives are always contemplated on looting, robbing the little owned by poor Kenyans and Africans. My fellow Africans, I like the way most of outstanding Canadian novelist Ajikwe brought the idea of post-colonialism in his novel titled 2000 Season. And this novel was published in 1973, which focuses on completeness of African people to enslavement of their people to intruders, whereby it emphasizes the continued complicitness of African readers, furthering the oppression of the African people. I can't forget one of the most popular novels by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Petals of Blood, which looks at the interconnectedness between the four murder suspects in the wake of Maumau uprising in Kenya. This is an outstanding novel which is skeptical, which looks on post-colonial Kenyan politics and the impossibility of escaping the colonial issues. Other novels touching on this hot topic of post-colonialism, they are like these four part by Nigerian Chinua Achebe, native life of South Africa by Saul Platie, Baku Hibiscus by Brave Lende of Nigeria, Gozis, Chinua Achebe said that the writers don't shoot, but they give headaches. Our forefathers did a quite recommendable efforts to help our continent, Africa, but we who took it, we made Africa of no control, an Africa of infamous leaders, an Africa of corrupt regimes, and instead of stars, and to our surprise, it all in expense of our poor Africans. I don't fear to say that we were colonized, but still not fully independent, and I still don't regret for condemning all westernizers who still take advantage of Africans. But in great respect, I do much appreciate all our colonial masters for all positive changes that they have infused in Africa. We have really seen their hands of mercy, kindness, help, and during hard times. Before I end this speech, I want to give some hopes and advices to my fellow Africans. We have made some noise from surroundings, but we will bear with that, and we shall continue. Let me repeat the words of Nelson Mandela. Let me repeat the words of Nelson Mandela, who said that I dream of realization of unity of Africa, whereby its leaders combine their efforts to solve problems of this continent. I dream of vast deserts, of our forests, of our great wilderness, Africa. We spoke of unity, the same unity that lacks in our societies, the Scavenger of the family, and other stories. My good friend, that there is a boy, a prominent man, an American poet who published 7 best-selling books of poetry and peace essays before his death at age of 13, who said that unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, one of these can be achieved. Now, my fellow Africans, number 6, they are unbreakable. The challenging task is to remain as a group. It should not be a challenge for us to unite. We don't need to have the same Sunday feel united. In unity, we shall have great minds working together. In unity, we shall have great minds working together. Elena Roosevelt said that great minds discuss great ideas, and great average minds discuss events. Those small minds, they do discuss people. Let me hope that Africans from today, elsewhere, from whoever is listening to this my speech, will start to be having that great mind to discuss ideas of developing this Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, and dwell in unity with others. By this, we shall have built a transcendence of our success.
We listen, we speak, then after speaking, we write. No, reading, oh yeah, I'm forgetting reading. Yeah, we listen, then after listening, we speak. Then after speaking, we write. No, we read. Oh yes, we read, because I'm saying the writing is the fourth one. And you see now, when you look at Abraham Maslow's level of needs, if writing has level, and now because most of us here, we can only listen, we can speak, we can read, but he's not written. So isn't it something to commend him for? Yes, he has been able to achieve the pinnacle of a language. The pinnacle of a language is writing in that language. Because we know so many people, even the young kids, they are very fluent in a language, but they can't read whatever they are speaking, and him is writing. So once more, congratulations. So I'm saying it is very important because it helps us in communication. It's the fuel for communication. Without writing, we are nowhere. We are informed. Like he has talked about the issues he has raised in the 6 short stories, contemporary issues that are facing us. Most of us, when we were in secondary school, you can remember the books, especially for entertainment, not for knowledge, not the set books that we used to do are the ones that we teach our students. When you have an entertaining book, a book that you really want to know actually what happens, you keep keep on reading. So writing entertains us. It explains to us what is happening in the situation. Like I'm really looking forward, especially to reading about the Snow of Africa. I want to know what will happen to this male student who has placed a bet and expects to win 2 million. Knowing that without working, there is no fruit for easy money. When you respect yourself, it doesn't matter who is there and ask their people, wherever the people most people, even as adults,
because part of the reason we are vying is to support the dreams of the young people and the young people themselves. And those who understood me then will tell you for sure. This was meant to be a leadership, to call people, to come together, to reason together. That is why wherever we were going, we used to quote Isaiah 1:18, come, let us reason together. Thank you very much. May the heavens give you the energy to write more. And I want to end by saying, one time I happened to have met a good professor who was a friend of mine. He's now late, and may so rest in eternal peace. One Professor Ken Walibora. I'm sure many of you here have heard of Professor Ken Walibora. Together with the guy who wrote his Scavenger. And he said, mamangu Zainabu Makame alizaliwa Mwanza, Tanzania. Alikuwa jina mimba wa mke wa mwisho wa mzee Mwinyi Makame. Mzee Mwinyi Makame alikuwa na watoto wapatao 9. Huenda kizazi hicho cha mzee Mwinyi Makame ingalimwajabia mwanaume mmoja alikuwa na bibi moja. And the story continues. So he was telling us, even if you have written a book and it's not published, the right thing you should do is to continue writing another one. When the second one is not published, or you've not gotten a reliable publisher, you should not give up. Write another one. Probably by the time you're doing the 10th one and they publish, they now ask you, do you have another one? Then you tell them I have like 10 or 5 behind me.